Welcome to a live look inside the Hawks' nest. Some OCAA crossover playoff action here for you as the Seneca Sting coming into the Hawks' nest to take on your Humber Hawks. My name is Adam Lucier. Joining me on the call today, Matt Caldwell. And these crossover games, it's kind of a cool experience. You get a team you haven't seen all year long to come in and show what they got. So a big opportunity here for the Humber Hawks here to move in further on this OCAA tournament with some momentum on their side.
Yeah, it's definitely exciting to see. When you come across a team that you don't see very often, it's definitely one of those games where you have to adjust it quickly, a very on-the-fly kind of thing as well. But these Humber Hawks have been playing so well all year long, you can't think that very many things are going to change when it comes to the strategy.
You mentioned the Humber Hawks, that 15-3 record is what got them here. And you see on the flip side, when it comes to the East Division, Seneca kind of the opposite, sitting there at 5-13. But historically, this is a matchup that Seneca has done very well in. They're 8-3 all time against Humber in the postseason. But as you know, 2020 is a whole brand new season, and Seneca has a big hill to climb if they want to overtake the Hawks tonight.
Yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, you got the three-headed monster in SHIANN Williams, Alex KRSTONOSIC, and Julia Watson at the front court that have been absolutely raking it in all year long, and they're definitely not slowing down now that they're in the playoffs. So, yeah, a huge, huge hill to climb if you're the Seneca Sting, but definitely one they can top if they play well.
Definitely some stat stuffers on that Humber Hawks team, and you take a look at the head-to-head matchup here, you can see exactly why. It seems as though Seneca trails up and down the board on this one, so numbers don't lie, they say. Seneca's going to be in tough. Humber certainly has the on-paper advantage, but you got to take the court for a reason. We're going to see if Seneca can pull off a little bit of a miracle here tonight.
Yeah, you're exactly right. There are a reason we play these games, and this is exactly why. But yeah, once again, going to be a very, very interesting game, very entertaining one here. See which team can adjust on the fly quickly, and more importantly, just get those points early, get ahead, and you should have a pretty good outcome.
Yeah, we're talking about a little bit the unfamiliarity with either team in this one, and these two teams haven't seen each other since 2014, all the way back at Nationals, and it was actually Seneca. The Sting picked up the win by a score of 3-1 in that game. Kelly Nyhoff had 14 points, and how the times have changed. Now she finds herself still on that Humber bench, but in an assistant coaching position. So it's been a long time coming, over 5 years since these two teams last squared off, and we'll see who's going to have the edge.
Yeah, it's been a little while, but that's definitely valuable experience on the bench with Kelly Nyhoff. You know, she's been in a similar situation before, whether she's talking it over with some of the first-year players that we have on the team. Just maybe getting the nerves out, shaking off the rust here now that it's a different atmosphere, now that it is postseason.
And these Humber Hawks, absolutely no stranger to postseason action. Coach Wilkins is 52-7 during his time as a Humber Hawks coach in the OCAA postseason. And ho-hum, that includes 13 provincial titles, not too shabby. Going to try to add another one to that list in this season.
Expecting nothing less, I think, going into it after such a strong regular season.
A little bit of a transitional year, a lot of movement in this roster, but you take a look at some of the pieces. Alex Bartman, the captain, can't say enough about her. Program record with 481 assists this season and over 1,000 assists in her career. And how about that first year, La Chapelle, also setting a record for digs. We're going to turn it over now to the great Dwayne Bowles, PA announcer, as we get the national anthem and your starting lineups. The women continuing that tradition of singing the national anthem. Always think that's a nice little touch. So time for the handshake line, and after that, it's time for some playoff action. 5-13, Seneca staying against the 13-5 Humber Hawks. The winner is going to book their trip to the 2020 OCAA Final 8 tournament, hosted by Canadore College on February 27th to the 29th. Nothing like a Dwayne Bowles intro to get you fired up for some playoff action, all set to get underway here. Interesting look first on the floor. Alex Bartman, the captain, going to be on the bench. Starting in her place, Lauren Schneider will be doing the setting. Our first look at Lauren here. She'll serve to get us underway. That's over, right back and down. Haley Henderson. First point on the day for the Hawks. It's 1-0.
Yeah, Haley Henderson putting Humber off to the early lead. That's definitely the start Wayne Wilkins is looking for.
Schneider again over. This one coming to the net. Thrown over there by the Seneca Sting. That's Zoe Rath. Schneider again on the service. 2 up are the Hawks early on here. That serve is going to sail long. First point of the day for the Sting.
That's something both teams are going to want to try to avoid, those unforced errors. As we've seen, they've definitely been difference makers before.
Away come the Sting there. LaChapelle trying to dive down for that one. Nothing doing. Service ace there for Alba Martinez. Seneca Sting coming to play here. Knotted up at 2 early on. Schneider one-handed tip. That's just going to be thrown over by LaChapelle. Free ball now for the Sting. It's Pinnock. Schneider with it now. Far side. That's Henderson, and that's going to paint the back line. Good looking point there for the Hawks and Haley Henderson.
Yeah, very good looking spot. Henderson looking comfortable out there early. Humber coming back.
Haley going to get her opportunity from the service line. Floater is over, touched by Pinnock, and KRSTONOSIC throws that right back in the Sting's face.
Yeah, and we've seen that all too often from number 7, Alex KRSTONOSIC. Certainly going to be seeing a lot more of it today.
Humber retaking the lead here, 3-2. Henderson service over, first touch, Pinnock. There's Martinez in the middle. That's going to go a country mile long off the hands of Zoe Rath.
Yeah, Zoe Rath didn't look like she got the approach that she wanted to there. Just couldn't quite find the vertical and get on top of that to drive it downwards as she needed.
Healthy little run here for Haley Henderson as she stays on the line. Towards the net it goes, near side. That one's off the block of Humber. Here's Schneider tossing it up to KRSTONOSIC, and that's in the back corner for the 6th point for the Humber Hawks.
And that's definitely one of the ladies you want to see starting off strong is Alex KRSTONOSIC, leading point getter for the Humber Hawks, averaging 3.5 points per set, excuse me.
Once again, near side off the block. It's been good so far for the Hawks. Far side, Megan Hunt going cross court, and that one just out by a matter of inches, but a good looking swing there from Megan Hunt.
Yeah, good try. Tried to find that shallow angle and just couldn't find it quite enough, just missing the frame of the court.
Swing here for the Sting, up and over. LaChapelle digs that out of there. Megan Hunt bump set. And Schneider trying to throw over that free ball, but so in tight to the net, just threw it up vertically and didn't have the reach to find its way over.
Yeah, couldn't quite get that arc to make sure that it didn't make contact with the net and stay on your side. Unfortunate there, as Seneca still staying with them.
That one's out of here. Sophia Rios couldn't keep that within the lines. So with the service error, back come the Humber Hawks. Alex KRSTONOSIC finds her way to the service line. At the net, it's Martinez. Near side, Pinnock over top of the block. We have ourselves a whistle. And that point will be rewarded to the Seneca Sting.
Yeah, a little too tight to the net there, making contact. As again, both teams going to try to stay away from these unforced errors as much as possible. But Humber still finding themselves with a nice little cushion 2-point lead.
Here's Zoe Rath bringing some size to that front court at 6'1". Hawks scrambling a little bit here. Henderson able to put it back over. At the net, Martinez, Pinnock. That's been the combination for Seneca, and that's a good looking point.
Very good look there from Pinnock. Good swing. If she gets hot, that's definitely going to be a player that Humber really is going to want to try to shut down as much as possible.
Once again from the line, Zoe Rath. Line drive will clear. LaChapelle, Schneider over back to Watson. First time we've called her name today. Martinez towards the net. Pinnock goes over. LaChapelle darts in front. Bump set, far side, Megan Hunt. That's going to go off Zoe Rath for another Humber point. It's 8-6.
Yeah, Megan Hunt with a good looking look there. She was able to get that patented swing that she's been picking up a little bit lately at the end of the season, bringing that now into the playoffs.
Martinez, short hop there, trying to save it, and that's just going to drop down. LaChapelle didn't have the first touch she wanted, and Lauren Schneider could not bail her teammate out.
Yeah, I'm not too sure if she just wasn't quite ready or wasn't sure if she wanted to volley or bump that. Either way, couldn't quite get the handle on it she wanted. And now bringing Seneca within 1.
Valdez at the line. That one's just gonna clear. Chalk that up to a little bit of skill, a little bit of good luck.
Yeah, that one, if you're Humber, you just kind of have to shake that one off. Those don't happen very often, but when they do, they can definitely sort of sting a little bit when you're on the receiving end of it.
And that one stings as Seneca puts it directly into the netting, so follow up a service ace with a service error. 9-8 the Hawks lead, and Megan Hunt is going to head to the line.
Megan Hunt, the first year leading the team in service aces. Trying to find that back corner there, just couldn't quite keep that movement within the court as it sort of tailed out on the late end of that serve.
Yeah, you mentioned, Matt, leading the team in service aces, and she hasn't had the playing time that a lot of other these players have, so she's really been getting it done with those services in her limited action.
Yeah, quality, not quantity, right?
That's exactly it. Here's Martinez near side over top of the block. Hunt on the touch. That one's sent up by Schneider. Here's Watson off of Valdez, and the Sting can't run that one down. A big kill for Julia Watson.
And Julia Watson starting to get going here. Her second attempt there, second swing rather, as she starting to get going with her first point of the afternoon.
Julia Watson, the offensive leader. Another one for the Hawks, Cheyenne Williams. She'll put that one into the netting. Gabrielle Wicks gonna head back to the line here. Seneca doing nice work in this first set. Things knotted up at 10 here in the Hawks nest. Schneider volleys over to KRSTONOSIC. A big swing with the right arm, and that's gonna gain the lead here for Humber.
And another really good placement there by KRSTONOSIC. Doing such a good job using that full court. She's got the ability to be able to spray it left, right, or straight down. That time picking a really good spot there and finding the edge of the court.
Service finds its way back around to Lauren Schneider, gets it over. Near side, Zoe Rath off the block of Watson. KRSTONOSIC pokes it over. Free ball now, La Chapelle, Schneider, KRSTONOSIC. Off of the libero and out, a big kill for number 7.
Yeah, went off the arm of Nicole Ting and got over the net and stayed in the court, but the free ball going outside, carrying all the way out the court. Humber will take it, now seeing themselves 12-10.
Opening up that 2-point lead here. Martinez on the set, Valdez with a push volley over. Schneider behind her, back to Watson, trying to go down the line. That one just out of reach of us at the commentator's table. Timeout for the Seneca Sting. Well-deserved here, I believe. Good call there by head coach Anthony Fong. And tightly contested back and forth. We're knotted up at 10-10. But a little bit of a run here by the Hawks. Have them ahead by 3. Pretty good time to talk things over.
Yeah, definitely. Going to want to try to break up as much of the momentum as possible, especially with these timeouts. It's such a... The coach almost acts as a sort of 7th man on the court, because when you call that timeout in a really good spot, it can really sort of put the wind in the sails of your own squad. And you never know, it could be the case here. But Humber really doing a good job on the offensive. Alex KRSTONOSIC off to a good start. Julia Watson, even though she didn't get too many feeds there at the beginning, sees herself with 2 kills. So Humber, off to a really good start, looking good.
That's a good point, Matt. I mean, this offense is looking pretty good early on. You mentioned the contributions of Megan Hunt's had some nice swings. KRSTONOSIC getting into it as usual, but you mentioned that name, Julia Watson. She's really been the catalyst of this offense all year, and she's been good when called upon, but as you said, not too many touches thus far. So for the Seneca Sting, got to be a little nerve-wracking that you're giving up these points. Without Watson really getting too busy, just 2 kills for her on the day. Got to expect that number to rise.
Yeah, as well, on the other side of the ball, Pinnock hasn't really seen too many swings either. She's leading her team in points, so yeah, she's another person who, if she could start getting going, can really be dangerous.
Seemed to be a little issue there with the rotation of Seneca. There's a whistle right on the service from Lauren Schneider. Pinnock having a chat with the team, getting everybody in order. So after that break in the action, Schneider going to get us back underway here. 14-10 the Hawks lead, 2020 OCAA playoff crossover, and there's an ace for number 3, Lauren Schneider. And the good times keep on rolling for Humber here in set number 1, opening up a 15-10 lead.
And Schneider coming into this one with 10 service aces to her name, adding one more to that total. Yeah, bringing Humber to a 5-point lead now.
We sat at 10-10. Sting came out to play early in set number 1, but the Hawks beginning to pull away. There's Martinez finding Zoe Raff down the line. Nice work to keep it alive. LaChapelle to the net. Watson, and that's what she does best.
Watson is always so good at that sort of shallow angle, usually keeping it just under the attack line there, going in between the right side and the middle defender. Really good spot on the court there for Julia Watson.
Schneider making a home for herself on that service line. Seneca needs to get her off. Zath once again, Zoe Raff. That one's going to get down for the Sting. That's a much-earned point, as they really needed that one. As this set's starting to get away from them.
Yeah, and a good spot on the court for her as well, doing a really good job keeping it inside that antenna there as well, avoiding the block of Watson.
LaChapelle, Schneider, far side Watson, and that's another one for the Hawks. They're taking over here in set 1. Julia Watson getting busy right on cue. Up to 4 kills on the day for number 8.
And when she gets rolling, she gets rolling. And can be really dangerous if you're Seneca to see her start to feel comfortable.
In the middle, Rath off the block. LaChapelle can't get to it. Seneca trying to even this one out. 12-17, they trail. To the line now, Sofia Rios. A service error her last time up, able to get this one over. Bump from LaChapelle, set. And KRSTONOSIC finds a home there.
And she's been finding a home for that ball in the court there. Sort of that little cut serve, almost faking like she's going to go down the left side, but choosing to go down the right side. Doing a really good job. She's finding herself in a roll.
An issue there on the first touch for Pinnock. Put that right into the net. Couldn't be bailed out by her teammates. So that unforced error will tack on another point for Humber as if they need it. They've been rolling here in set number 1, 19-12. Miscommunication there, but they keep it alive. Pinnock targeting that back line, but sails it long. Humber now up to 20.
Yeah, Seneca doing a really good job avoiding that almost double touch there. They were maybe deciding whether they wanted to leave it or play it, but doing a good job avoiding that play. And a good swing by Pinnock, just finding it a little long out the back.
So once was a 10-10 game, now 20-12, and we're going to see how we got there. Some nice service from Lauren Schneider. Julia Watson has been getting involved. All in all, just sound basketball played by Humber. What else do you expect?
Yeah, Humber doing it with a couple of lays on the court, mostly by Alex KRSTONOSIC, Julia Watson, and a few by Haley Henderson to start the set off. Humber definitely looking really comfortable early in this one.
And you can see the difference on the benches there. Humber certainly feeling themselves, some smiles on the face, but a little different for Seneca as they have some figuring out to do. Had to have liked the way they came out to start this game, but that offense has certainly quieted down as they take their second timeout.
Yeah, haven't been as good as they probably could be there on the offensive side, maybe giving up a few too many free balls to the Humber Hawks, maybe having a part to play in the lead that Humber has.
Yeah, that first timeout came at 13-10 Humber. Seneca trying to right the ship, and then that second timeout comes at 20-12, so not exactly the response they were looking for as Pinnock gets under this one and pushes it over. Schneider looking for help, finds it in Williams, and that's going to find the floor. Cheyenne Williams with her first kill of the day.
Yeah, and another one that when she gets rolling, she gets rolling. If you're Seneca, to see the big three from Humber start to feel comfortable and build that momentum on the court can definitely be scary.
Martinez to Valdez. Will that find the back line? But the call from the chair umper, Seneca was celebrating, thought it went off the block, off the deflection, but pat in the chest. Chair umpire says, I saw it, no deflection. KRSTONOSIC going to head to the line. Humber 4 points away from taking set number 1.
And there's a reason why there are 4 line judges out there. Make sure to get the call right. Doing so there.
Libero with the first touch towards the net. It's Pinnock, and that's going to drop down in front of KRSTONOSIC.
KRSTONOSIC may be thinking that that might not have gone through the block there. It looked a little bit awkward from our angle the way that Pinnock hit it, but either way, she's going to take that one as Seneca sticking around here, running out of lives, though, in set number 1.
So after that point by Pinnock, Rath going to serve this one over. Henderson with the first touch. Megan Hunt gets under it. Haley Henderson from the backcourt. Free ball here for the Hawks. Schneider goes up to Williams, and that one straight down, making it look easy. Cheyenne Williams.
Yeah, Seneca leaving a very big spot on the hole right in the middle. Cheyenne Williams taking advantage of that. Very nicely done by number 12, the middle hitter.
The spread all the way up to 10 here, 23-13. Martinez bump set. Pinnock gets by the block, can't beat LaChapelle. Schneider in the air to Watson. Martinez gets a hand on that. Far side, Valdez, that little floater corralled by Williams. Here's Megan Hunt off the block. Nice rally forming here. Martinez to Pinnock. That can't reach over the net, and Humber's going to collect a hard-earned point. 4 touches the call against the Sting there.
Yeah, a couple of approaches there for the attack on the Sting. Didn't quite look like the way they wanted to draw it up. And Humber taking advantage there after a few free balls given up by Seneca.
Set point here for the Hawks. Try to close out set number 1. There's Watson, Schneider to Hunt. And that's going to paint the back line with authority. The Humber Hawks take set number 1, 25-13.
And more of the same here from the Humber Hawks. Getting off to a good lead early, starting to feel comfortable, getting all of their heavy hitters going. And yeah, the snowball is starting to build here. Seneca definitely going to need to make a few adjustments if they're going to try to stick with the Humber Hawks.
And Seneca did a great job at kind of preventing that snowball, preventing that momentum. It was 10-10 in the first set. They really came out strong in that first little bit, but once Humber started to find their game, once they started to roll, Seneca has really struggled to find an answer, especially with that Humber front court. Take a look at some of the handiwork there by Watson. Zoe Rath has also been involved. Pinnock has had some nice swings, but seems as though it's been Humber that's been really controlling and pacing the action, at least in set 1.
And Seneca not really doing themselves too many favors, giving up a few too many free balls. And when you give up as many free balls as they did to a team like Humber, yeah, when they start getting comfortable, as you see time and time again here early in set number 1, early in this match, Humber doing a really good job.
The free ball is a good point. We take a look at Seneca getting busy, and Lauren Schneider, you see a nice set there to Megan Hunt. Obviously, coming into playoff action, you expect to see Bartman, the all-time Humber Hawks leader in assists, to take the floor, but instead we've seen Lauren Schneider get going in this game, and setters, maybe not the most glorious position on the floor. If you're doing your job right, you're usually not called on too much, but it's worth noting that Lauren Schneider has been playing phenomenal to get this game going.
Yeah, Lauren Schneider doing a really good job, doing well on the service line, going on a couple of little rolls there to start Humber off on the right foot. And yeah, as you mentioned, yeah, they're usually going to want to see Alex Bartman, but Wayne Wilkins showing off a little bit of the depth here that Humber has to offer, as getting a couple of players to start this match that haven't really gotten too many starts throughout the regular season.
And it's got to be nice as a setter when you're really feeding the front court that Humber has. Watson, KRSTONOSIC, Cheyenne Williams, Megan Hunt. I mean, the list goes on and on. These are big swingers and plenty of efficiency, and each player kind of brings a different toolkit when it comes to playing that front court.
Yeah, some players just a little bit better defensively, getting good jobs on the blocks. Alex KRSTONOSIC, oh so good with the blocks. Julia Watson usually called upon a little bit more for her left arm for that swing. And yeah, and Megan Hunt usually doing a really good job at the service line, you know, leading this team coming into this one with service aces with 19, excuse me. So yeah, all the ladies on the court doing their jobs, seeing Humber off to an early 1-0 set lead.
And you take a look at the huddle there for the Hawks. It looks as though it'll be familiar faces taking the floor. Henderson, Watson, KRSTONOSIC, Hunt, Schneider, and Williams out there for Humber. Getting started here in set number 2. The winner of this one's going to move on to the 2020 OCAA Final 8 tournament. That's going to take place at Canadore College from February 27th to the 29th. First playoff action we've seen. The men will take on the Centennial Colts later on today as you see a big swing from KRSTONOSIC, men's in that front court, and they're getting busy right away.
Yeah, they're going to try to build on the momentum they had in set number 1. Off to a great start there. Alex KRSTONOSIC still more of the same.
Lauren Schneider, we mentioned her ability from the service line in set number 1. Going to get going again today. Pinnock with the first touch. Zoe Rath bumps set. There's Valdez. LaChapelle gets to it. Schneider sets up Henderson off the block. Pinnock did everything she could to save it, but just out of reach. So the Hawks getting going right where they let off. It's 2-0.
And Humber's doing a really good job finding those spots on the court. Seneca having good positioning, but Humber just stepping them up just one more step with those good locations on the court.
Seneca's had a hard time getting Schneider off the line, and that will certainly help as well. Another service ace for Lauren Schneider. What a day she's had.
Yeah, really not even noticing the fact that she's on the court and not Alex Bartman. Usually Alex Bartman oh so good from the service line as well. Schneider doing a really good job taking over for the captain.
Back-to-back service aces for Lauren Schneider.
Definitely got to be feeling good if you're Wayne Wilkins going with the choice of starting Schneider. She's proving that she is worth the start.
Scratch that, Chris Wilkins, but both race coaches. Watson with the first touch for the Hawks, and that's going to sail over everybody's head. You mentioned the Wilkins brothers, and when it comes to this type of playoff atmosphere, I mean, they got experience left, right, and center. Chris in his 23rd year with the team.
Yeah, and I'm sure probably both the coaches talk during the season about sort of what's going well with each team and giving maybe a pointer here or there that maybe one brother doesn't see but the other does. Yeah, definitely a strong volleyball family the Wilkins have.
Near side, that's Valdez on the swing towards the net. Schneider back behind her to Watson. That's out of the reach of the libero. Big point there for Julia Watson. Haley Henderson to the line. A comfortable lead for the Hawks here. 6-1, they find themselves ahead. Another service ace, as this is really starting to become a problem for the Seneca Sting. Their first touch really just hasn't been there.
Yeah, really, and Pinnock thinking as though maybe that one was going out, not agreeing with the call that the line judge made, but either way, Seneca, yeah, definitely starting to feel that pressure, now down 6.
Pinnock going cross court, and that's going to find its way out. So a good idea there by Zanaya Pinnock. You've seen a little bit of open floor on that side of the court, but just sails it a little long.
Yeah, maybe not getting quite the approach that she wanted, maybe slipping on the court there as we see a little bit of a manicure done on the court, wiping it down, making sure everything is not too slippy and staying safe.
Anderson with the serve over. Pinnock first touch. Libero back to Pinnock. LaChapelle, who else? First touch for Humber. Schneider bump set. Megan Hunt. And that point is going to go to the swing as Megan Hunt got a little too acquainted with the net on that swing. So you're there, adjust the body, trying to squeeze it down that line, but just played it a little too tight. Zoe Rath now for the Sting. Float serve to Megan Hunt. Schneider, KRSTONOSIC in the middle, and once again, the first touch by Martinez not ended up where it needs to be.
Yeah, Martinez not looking like she was quite ready for that. Alex KRSTONOSIC doing a pretty quick approach for that hit, doing a really good job sort of surprising the backcourt of Seneca.
Service error there for Alex KRSTONOSIC. Close the lead to 6 here. Never a good time for a service error, but when you have a comfortable lead like this, you can always shake it off. Valdez with it now, second-year player out of the Philippines. Schneider to Williams, straight down, finding the open floor.
And it doesn't matter who's in the middle position in the front court for Humber. More of the same, as they have been really, really on a tear early through this one.
Let's see what Julia Watson has in store here. A little off balance on the swing. That'll head into the netting. So back-to-back service errors here for the Hawks. All that does is just keep Sting alive here in this second set. First touch, Henderson. Schneider, bump set, Megan Hunt. Pinnock can't get two hands on that one. Megan Hunt, a big swing from the near side.
Yeah, and that's what happens when Megan Hunt just has that little bit more room off of the net. Very good set there by Lauren Schneider and a good finish by Hunt.
Megan Hunt stands at just 5'7" with the amount of bounce she has, though. She's a big arm there. Cheyenne Williams off the net, push volley over, and how about that from Lauren Schneider? Recognizing that backboard of the swing, or the Sting that is, rush towards the net, just floating it right over their head.
Yeah, Schneider looking like an everyday starter here for the Humber Hawks. Doing a really good job. Good choice going with the hit over on two.
Cheyenne Williams puts it over for the Hawks. That one trending out and is. So a tight play at the net. Lauren Schneider and Cheyenne Williams just managed to get it over, and an unforced error by the Sting put the Hawks ahead 13-4.
And if you're the Sting, you're going to want to try to get Megan Hunt off of the service line as quickly as possible. Because the more time she spends there, the more time she's going to get comfortable, and probably the more damage she's going to do. And right on cue, the commentator's curse.
There it is. So a couple of good-looking serves from Megan Hunt concludes with a service error. So we see Hannah Petkoff come into this game for Megan Hunt. Just one more of the embarrassment of riches in the front court for the Hawks. Speaking of which, Williams with a big swing, and that's going to find its way down. The Seneca Sting really have no answer for Cheyenne Williams.
Yeah, Cheyenne Williams and Alex KRSTONOSIC. It doesn't really matter who's in that front court. Even Julia Watson doing a really good job early. Yeah, Seneca just having a really hard time making those good reads and getting a good block in front of those hitters.
Libero gets the first touch. Cheyenne Williams up from her service position, scrambling, and Williams darts in front of Haley Henderson there. Maybe a ball she should have held off. So Williams gonna have a breather here as Chris Wilkins continues to rotate players in this game. Martinez on the serve. There's the first touch for Petkoff. Here's Haley Henderson. Another point for the Hawks, continuing to rack it up. 15-6, Hawks lead.
Henderson with her third kill of the afternoon. She's getting off to a good start as well, finding a good spot on the court right down the line.
Called her name plenty of times today. Lauren Schneider back on the service line. Has done plenty of damage from that position. Valdez scrambling, bump set, thrown over here, free ball, La Chapelle. Schneider, Watson, that's money.
Watson getting fired up as she really liked that one. Not normally the spot we see her hit from the court, but either way, she's going to take it. And with how good of a court presence she has such a good ability to pick what spot on the court she wants to hit, and she hits it.
Schneider float serve, dug there towards the net. Rath, nice work just to get it over. And KRSTONOSIC with the quick reaction time, but going to be charged with the lift.
Yeah, unfortunate there. Just kind of the position she was at on the net and a sort of funky bounce. The ball took off of the white tape. Unfortunate for Alex KRSTONOSIC, but she's just going to shake it off and keep going.
Watson with the left hand throws that one over. Pinnock trying to save it for the Sting. Free ball now. La Chapelle. Schneider. KRSTONOSIC off the block. What a dig by Alex La Chapelle. In the middle, it's Haley Henderson. Martinez keeps it alive. Thrown towards the net. Zanaya Pinnock. Another free ball. Can Humber take advantage? Over in two. Nice dig there by Pinnock. Valdez sends it over. Backcourt. Petkoff. Schneider. KRSTONOSIC down in front of the libero. And a nice looking rally ends in a Humber Hawk point.
Yeah, Schneider doing a really good job trying that little over in two. Seneca doing a good job of reading it and reacting, and then coming back. Another great hit by KRSTONOSIC.
17-7, Pinnock going cross court. That one goes out of bounds and pings off an unsuspecting fan. Right by the bleachers here, we got to be careful with some of these heavy hitters. It's a heads-up type of game. Martinez bump set. There's Pinnock once again looking for that cross-court shot, and this time she finds it.
Yeah, Pinnock just taking a little bit off of the one she did previous, taking enough off of it to drop it right in at that T section between the attack line and the edge of the court. Well done for Pinnock, and could be the one attack that she needs to start getting herself turned around the corner.
She's missed a few of those, but right on the money on that one. Here's Petkov with a swing off the top of the block and out of bounds. So you can mark a point on the board for Hannah Petkov. She's been so good when called upon. 90 kills for her on the season. KRSTONOSIC on the line. Pinnock first touch. Martinez bump set. There's Valdez directly into the net. She had to worry about Petkov and Dubé right there at the net.
Yeah, Chris Wilkins with the comfortable lead is going to start funneling a little bit more of those bench players. So now Foley getting in on the action.
Another fresh face in this one, second-year player. Foley with a nice serve to the middle of the court. Pinnock going to sail this one over off the block of Watson, and that's going to drop down as perhaps a little bit of miscommunication there as the Hawks found themselves a little flat-footed.
Yeah, a little bit on the heels were the backcourt there and to cover that block. But either way, going to have to shake that one off still. Nice, comfortable 11-point lead for the Humber Hawks.
Humber certainly in the driver's seat. Bump set Dubé. There's Petkov going cross court. Set up here. Pinnock from the middle of the court. Dug out there. Near side, it's Petkov. Sting keep it alive. Off the block goes Pinnock. Here's Lauren Schneider going to set it far side. Julia Watson, and that's going to get down in front of Martinez. Julia Watson continuing to rack it up. Her 7th kill of the day.
And Julia Watson showing that intelligence, going with that little bit of the tip, realizing that that set was just a little bit too tight to the net. Julia Watson showing that, making that a little bit of adjustment and getting the finish.
Pinnock once more, that's found. Heaney now at the libero position. Watson, Valdez, nice dig. Pinnock towards the middle of the court. Free ball now for the Hawks. Let's see what they could do. Behind her back, Schneider. And how about that cross-court finish? Alex Dubé getting it done.
Yeah, Snyder doing a good job getting all of the new faces into the lineup, getting going. Alex Dubé with her first attack and her first kill of the afternoon.
So Watson's going to stick on the service line. Hawks 3 points away. From the backcourt, it's Valdez, push volley. Set up here for the Hawks. Going to go to Petkov, and that's going to find its home. Hannah Petkov has been busy since getting into this game. She's been putting on some good swings.
Yeah, Hannah Petkov maybe a little bit underrated here on this Humber Hawks team, as we're so used to hearing the names of KRSTONOSIC and Julia Watson, but Hannah Petkov getting in on the action and making some good quality swings, getting some good finishes.
Petkov going to have another go off the white tape and down, so that'll put a run of the dynamite play of Hannah Petkov. A little bit of a heat check there. So Pinnock, the top player for the Seneca Sting, leads her team and kills and digs. Not something you see every day. And again, a problem with the rotation here, it seems. Chris Wilkins going to try to get an explanation. So right off the serve, whistle to play dead. Point for the Sting, they find themselves at 11. Hawks 2 points away from taking set 2. Jump serve, Pinnock. You hear the call from the bench and the players on the court out. And they'll let that sail over their heads. Set point here. Humber has been dominant here in the second set, trying to close the show. Peckoff on the line into the net for a service error. Will keep Seneca Sting alive for the moment. Hawks doubling them up, 24-12. Gabrielle Wicks into the net it goes. So the Seneca Sting end their set with a whimper as they go down on the service error, 25-11. Your final score after 2, and kind of what we saw the second half in set number 1. Humber just really came out and steamrolled here in set 2.
Yeah, Humber doing a really good job just keeping that momentum up, and more of the same from the Humber Hawks. Schneider doing a really good job getting all of her teammates in on the action and busy. But I think the biggest thing is that Seneca giving up a lot of free balls in that set, and you could really see it in the score. Really lopsided one there in set number 2.
Yeah, that's a good point there, Matt. It seems as though Seneca has been struggling with that first touch, and either they can't get a ball in play, or when they can, it's usually a soft bump or a push volley. And give Humber credit, they've taken advantage of the opportunities, and that includes a whole variety of players. And you see the star Julia Watson get a big point there, but we've seen Olivia Foley come in, Dubé. Chris Wilkins is really utilizing his bench here, getting a lot of players into action, and that can be a great thing when you're really starting your playoff push here in the playoff crossover game. And as you move into the final 8, perhaps, if they can get a third set win, nice to see that players up and down your bench have had, played recently and is really getting warm, getting fired up.
Yeah, as well, getting into that playoff atmosphere. It's very different going from the regular season into the playoffs, even though you think, oh, it's just the same game, same teams kind of thing. No, playing in a playoff atmosphere is very, very different. You have that little bit of extra pressure on your shoulders and can definitely get in the heads and under the skin of some players. So good to see Humber still more of the same, feeling comfortable and still doing what they've been doing all regular season long, carrying it into this postseason.
Yeah, and you come into these OCAA crossover games, and because of Humber's great seeding, they have a lower seed when it comes to the East Division. And you've got to always worry just a little bit about that trap game atmosphere, 13-5 going against 5 and 13, but it really appears that the Hawks are not looking over the Sting in any way.
No, yeah, the Humber Hawks just, again, more of the same, doing exactly what they've been doing all year long and showing off that consistency is a really big thing as well. Can't say it enough. The Humber doing a really good job getting everybody on the court involved. Even Schneider doing a good job getting herself involved, making a couple of really good reads going over in 2. So yeah, definitely if you're Chris Wilkins on the bench and the Humber coaching staff, you got to like what you're seeing going forward.
Exactly right. We've seen Bartman struggle here and there with her health throughout the season, so good opportunity here for Lauren Schneider to get a bunch of playing time in, let Bartman rest up as we hopefully move towards the Final 8 tournament in about a week's time. So the Hawks have been as good as advertised through 2. Julia Watson leading the way with her 7 kills. On the other side of things, Anaya Pinnock, best player on the floor for the Seneca Sting today. She has 5 kills to her name. Schneider been so good with the serves all day long, hoping to continue her fine run. Martinez sets it here in the middle. Zoe Rath off the block of KRSTONOSIC. Pinnock trying to keep it alive. And that one will hit no one but the line judge. Chasing that one down is Rios.
Yeah, good hustle there. Good effort by the Seneca Sting. But yeah, just that first touch still a problem for the team in black. And that's something they're definitely going to have to clean up if they're going to try to stay in this one and keep this one past 3 sets.
Just able to keep it alive, the scrambling Sting. Here's Schneider set in the middle. Watson off the block of Zoe Rath. Chasing this one down is Martinez. And Valdez could not get that ball over. But again, Matt, that's one of those situations where even if that does head over, that's from the backcourt. It's just another free ball for the Hawks.
Yeah, it's just one that doesn't quite have the momentum on it to sort of really be competitive and a chance to try to get that point. Sort of act as a pseudo free ball. Yeah, Seneca really do need to start picking up their game when it comes to those returns and the digs.
Andrew set up there to Watson. This one's returned. Letting that one drop out of bounds is Lauren Schneider. A good call. That was going to be close there, but just great court vision there by Schneider.
Yeah, good court vision and presence, just recognizing that, hey, I'm right on top of the line, and if I keep going, that's going out. recognizing that movement, going to carry the ball out, and she's going to stay on the service line. Done a really good job from there so far today.
Surprise, surprise, Schneider still on the line. There's Andrew Schneider, low set, KRSTONOSIC. That one's going to go off on Nicole Ting. And KRSTONOSIC continues her strong play, up to 7 kills on the day for number 7. Schneider being a little selfish today, refusing to get off that service line. Well, sorry, Lauren. I'll take the blame for that one. His service error goes out of bounds. Ball going to go back the way of the Sting.
Yeah, the movement on that one, just carrying it just out to the left. Unfortunate there for Lauren Schneider, as yeah, she's been so good from the service line.
Schneider at the net, back to Henderson, off the block of Zoe Raft and out of bounds.
And that time Raft just was not there in time to get set and to get up for that block. As you can see, she was sort of lagging behind there. She was in correct position, probably would have had a really good block and ended up in the Humber side of the court, but not doing it, as Humber will take the point and continue this 5-1 lead.
This time it's KRSTONOSIC in the middle, and Nicole Ting lays out but can't get to that one. Hawks on an absolute roll. It's 6-1. So much size in the front court now. Cassidy Andrews, Danielle Miles joining Alex KRSTONOSIC. Seen a whole lot of looks from the Hawks today, but every single one has worked. Martinez in the middle, it's Raft between the block of KRSTONOSIC and Andrews. They'll drop down in front of Henderson. Finally, Seneca Sting stops the bleeding.
And stopping the bleeding for now, and now it's up to them to just try to clean up their game and try to avoid the unforced errors. Try to get those first passes to their setter, and you could definitely have a better looks like that.
Not what you're looking for as you're trying to get momentum on your side. Another service error from Rios. Puts the ball right back into the hands of the Hawks. Here's KRSTONOSIC. Ting, Martinez, Pinnock. Off the net and back towards Seneca. Nonetheless, Miles and Williams were there on the block.
Yeah, unfortunate. Pinnock didn't quite get the hit that she wanted, but it's definitely a better look for the Seneca Sting. Better pass, better set, better looking play. As if they continue to do that a little bit more, they'll definitely be able to stick around with these Humber Hawks. But good serve there by Alex KRSTONOSIC, as she's saying, nope, we're going to keep the lead, and a nice, comfortable one at that.
The Hawks in absolute cruise control at the moment as Pinnock floats that one over. KRSTONOSIC, bump set, Henderson from the backcourt. Pushed over to Pinnock off the block of Cheyenne Williams. Schneider looking for help, finds it in Cassidy Andrews. Nice dig there by Martinez. Rios puts it up from Pinnock. Let's see what the Hawks could do. Schneider, Williams in the middle, the little floater drops in front of Valdez. Perfect placement on that shot from Cheyenne Williams.
Yeah, Cheyenne Williams recognizing the lots of free space in the middle of the court. Seneca not quite collapsing the way they need to there on that little tip at the front of the net. Cheyenne Williams will take that. A good choice there. And a good block off the hand of Miles. But unfortunately going out, as that's going to go the way of Seneca.
Yeah, good timing there by Danielle Miles and Cheyenne Williams, really in unison there as they went up for the double team block, but as you mentioned, Matt, deflected out of play. Zoe Rath serve it away, her team in a big hole, and that sure won't help. 11-3, the Hawks lead here.
Those unforced errors really starting to pile up for the Seneca Sting. Whenever they maybe get a little bit momentum going their way, they snuff it out immediately with a little bit of an error from the service line.
Third-year veteran Danielle Miles on the service. Let's see what Pinnock could do off the block of Schneider and Foley to see how fired up the team is. Lauren Schneider, not known for blocking ability, but hey, showing off the vertical there.
Yeah, Lauren Schneider, not the biggest one out there on the court, not the tallest, but either way, showing off the hops there, getting her hands up. A real good block there from the setter.
Schneider has now recorded a block on the season. As you see, A miscue there by the Seneca Sting. Gabrielle Wicks could not get a hand on that one. So the lead back up to 10, 13-3. The Hawks trying to cruise to a crossover playoff victory. Another service ace for Danielle Miles as she's having a nice little run on the line. Pinnock couldn't get a hand on that.
Danielle Miles coming into this one with 2 service aces on the air. Make that 3 now for the third-year vet.
Substitutions on either side. Tyra Horde coming into the game for the Sting. Megan Hunt back in for the Hawks. Pinnock, first touch. Martinez looking back to Pinnock, and there's the block again by Foley and Schneider. Schneider runs back for the set. Here's Cassidy Andrews, saved by Emma Heaney. Andrews with another opportunity, and she'll fire that by Nicole Ting. Big point for the Hawks.
And another player on the Humber Hawks getting in on the action. It's Cassidy Andrews with a very nice kill there.
Pinnock, Ting, backcourt, that's Horde. Megan Hunt, Schneider over in 2, and how about that? Lauren Schneider noticing a hole and taking advantage of it.
Yeah, Schneider continuing her very good play here in this one. Once again, showing really good awareness there, going over in 2. Very good spot on the court.
Pinnock with the old bump set, bump set, bump set, and then you don't do either. That happens, one of those balls right at the chest.
Yeah, that little bit of indecision can sometimes be the devil there.
She'll get another opportunity, bumps that one in the air. Martinez to it. That one's gonna sail out. That was Valdez putting the swing on it. So the Sting don't really have an answer here. They've been having a tough go here in set number 3. 18-3, they trail. Martinez set to Pinnock. Block is there. Cassidy Andrews sends that sky high. She'll get an opportunity to swing going cross court, and that will sail just long.
Yeah, Cassidy Andrews trying to watch out for that antenna there, trying not to make it go out before it even has a chance to get over the net. But unfortunately, it didn't quite have the downward angle she needed for that one.
OCAA crossover playoff game has been all Hawks since the get-go. Swing there, dug out by Valdez. Near side, Pinnock floats that over. Emma Heaney can't get there with the pancake dig.
That time Humber just giving up a little bit too much space in that center court. Heaney doing a good job trying to sacrifice the body to make the play, but maybe the backcourt just needs to collapse just a little bit more at the net.
And how about that? Schneider going toe-to-toe with Pinnock and Wicks at the net. Lauren Schneider gets the better of both of them. 18-6 now the score. But it appears as though Schneider was called for the net violation there. Point to the Sting. Impressive nonetheless. Cassidy Andrews looking for that back corner, and that'll paint it.
Yeah, to say the least, painting that back part of the court. Very good spot. And a good bump set there by Megan Hunt, doing a good job of giving a good as look possible for Cassidy Andrews.
Martinez right at the net. We have a whistle. Point going to go to the Hawks. 2 touch, the signal from the chair umpire. The Hawks 5 points away from taking a convincing playoff victory here. Service ace. Cassidy Andrews getting in on the service fun. Appears as though the Hawks could do no wrong from the line in today's game.
Yeah, now 16 service aces for the entire year for Cassidy Andrews.
Martinez bumps set. That one's over from Wicks. Let's see who Lauren Schneider finds. Far side, Megan Hunt. Nice work by Valdez just to get a hand on that. Emma Heaney from the backcourt. Cassidy Andrews, and Valdez couldn't get the touch she wanted. Cassidy Andrews with authority.
Yeah, Cassidy Andrews coming on in a big way here late in set number 3. Doing a good job from the backcourt and doing a good job from the service line.
Nearly had the service ace there, but nice dig by Pinnock. Free ball here, sent over by Horde. There's Heaney. Lauren Schneider behind her, back to Foley. And Pinnock is there for a big block. The first life we've seen from Seneca in some time.
Yeah, very good block to match the very good swing there by Foley. Pinnock doing a really good job sending herself to the service line.
Jump serve, trending long, and is good call off by the Humber Hawks back line. The magic number now 2, 23-7. Hawks getting close to booking their place in the OCAA Final 8 tournament, February 27th to 29th at Canadore College. Foley on the service. Sent over in 2 by Martinez, but pushes that out wide. Match point now for the Hawks.
And a good effort there by Martinez. Try to get over in 2. Doing a good job avoiding the net and everything, but just pushing it a little bit too long.
Foley a chance to end it here, dug out by Ting. Far side, that's Wicks. Gonna go to Megan Hunt, try to close the show, and there it is. The Humber Hawks take set number 3 by a score of 25-7. What a day for the entire lineup as they take this OCAA playoff crossover match in straight 3 sets. And Matt, it looked awful good today. You got to imagine they're going to be in good shape going into the Final 8 tournament.
Yeah, that's definitely the game that you want to see if you're a Humber Hawks fan, getting everybody in on the action and getting them in on the action in a big way too. Everybody coming into the game, getting their swings in and making them effective. So yeah, definitely what you want to see going forward if you're the Humber Hawks, having everybody on the right foot, building a really big snowball right from the beginning of the game. As yeah, it was all Humber, as you can see there, the scores 25-13, 25-12, 25-7.
Getting better each and every set, and we just heard player of the game honors going to Lauren Schneider. What do you say about her play today?
Absolutely stellar play, coming on in a big way to support her team captain and the main setter for this team, Alex Bartman. She's not seen a lick of playing time, and Schneider showing that, hey, I'm just as good, coming on and really doing a good job getting everybody on the court involved.
And most importantly, it really appears as though this has been a fun day at the office for this Humber Hawks team. You take a look at the player photos as we get a recap of some of today's action. And you go up and down the list. Usually when it comes to these Hawks, maybe it's Julia Watson that overtakes a game, or KRSTONOSIC was dominant. But really in this one, you can list players up and down the lineup, everybody able to get it done. So that's going to do it, a dominating victory for the Humber Hawks. They're going to move on to the 2020 OCAA Final 8 tournament with a playoff victory over the Seneca Sting. That's going to do it for myself, Adam Lucier, and Matt Caldwell. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back shortly here on the Hawks Sports Network for the Centennial Coats against the Humber Hawks and more OCAA volleyball playoff action. Thanks for tuning in.